to communicate. He's going to tell him, hey, knocking it down, be ready to catch yourself, make sure you're not more than 3 tiles up, as Milan brings everyone down to an even level. However, not able to resolve this ambush as quick as they would like. Now they're in trouble.
Big time trouble at the moment. This is the kind of risk reward that you kind of take. You can be aggressive, and that is the ultimate sign of aggression, kind of gliding on down to somebody, because they're going to have the sound cues necessary to know it's just a matter of a moment, and that is the Victory Royale winner Jam side going down. And that's going to be a big time factor, having that member of the trio go down so early. But we're seeing the power of the rifts as well, as Quavato and Letwick are on that extreme back foot as they're getting pressured so hard by Chapek, Queasy, and Milan.
And I mean, we've seen how well that these guys can pressure when they're on here. It seems like this was a little bit of a game planned out push, something that they've been looking to try and execute on. We're able to get that player by themselves, and Letwick being able to get cleaned up there. Somebody who really performs when it comes to the highest level of competition. Just somebody who is more than confident regardless of the stage, able to take over a W in that solo World Cup on the stage in front of so many people, not only live, but being streamed here. But now on board with another team who we've seen have some relative success in their early aggression. But outside of that, I would say they've shown little to no promise. It's been a whole lot of kind of early aggression and getting in these fights, and not really any mid-game rotations. As you'll see, Celestian and Fazless will get cleaned up there again, unfortunately. So 2 points going over 20 so far for half them, Jerky and Sapiros on the day.
This reminds me of Storming Right, Rotary, and Kiriachi. They had the same kind of journey. A lot of storm fights, a lot of purple on the screen when we joined in on their POV, and it just led to a lot of inconsistency.
And sometimes you don't even recognize that you just need that little shift, right? Sometimes you need to go back and you talk about kind of going through and reviewing the server replays. Sometimes you notice, hey, if we go this route instead, we're able to get this house, which isn't generally looted, rather than going past XYZ house, which is always looted, and we've actually been ambushed at before. And now you can see a little bit of awareness coming through from Hen and some good burst shots. We've talked about kind of the, Hen following it up right away. Not quite able to connect on the headshot, but a good 105 body shot will make sure a second 105 body shot, excuse me. Hen has hit the last 6 bullets he's fired, 4 from a burst and 2 from the sniper rifle, and all of a sudden they don't have to worry about Storm Surge at all.
And that's a great highlight of the power of the sniper. It just gets so much of that HP that you could kind of put into that Storm Surge pot. And those valuable tags are going to not only get that Storm Surge, no, I'm about to say, don't you dare, Hen. But this also is a great way to show that you could kind of slow down a team. Oh my goodness, Hen. What did you eat for breakfast? Did you have the superior breakfast item of a waffle, sir? I believe so.
And you can see Wolfie's cleaning up that elimination for him there. Avoza Travexta going down, but Hen being the benefactor there. That's the Siphon coming through, topping him off, and then an additional point going over. You can see they're just going to rotate, logging away, because they know there's 2 other teams bogged down on the side.
And they literally just... We're seeing Game 6 being like a little bit looser in terms of placements that you're seeing right now. Already 23 teams are left. So just taking a look, already in Zone 3, that means we're so close to placement points getting doled out. It goes down for top 17, and you just got a little taste right there of AD and Amplify Matzo maximizing their damage output right there, because those tags, those valuable tags that you see, will kind of get them over. Will be a big factor and get them over there.
You can see now hopping on board here. That's Paco of Outerworld picking up Lol Boon, the Irishman, being cleaned up on the side there. And he's sneaking a little clown emote in there saying, yep, that one's for you. Let you know you're zooming on in. That looked like... You can see that zone is pulling towards the western half of that northwest side, and that burst finding through. Seago Pepe not going to be laughing about that one. You can put your Pepe hands up as Refguard finds the shots in there, trying to get the conversion over the top as that team is outside the zone. There is a little bit of pressure coming onto him right now. However, looking to just try and own as much of the space around him as he can. It actually sneaks a quick little shot in, and he finds Telek as well. So nice awareness from Refguard. 2 eliminations coming through there.
of that inventory, the shockwaves would be a huge factor for them, an opportunity for take height. But we're seeing Wolfies, Kenzel, CRR all working together, and you're seeing the beams come true. The strength of this trio is their aim and the ability to go ahead and box fight, the mechanical prowess. But now they pull a full pull right there as Zone 5 gets away, and that is why they're rotating early. They're getting out of dodge as much as possible. And there it is, more rotations happen as Trainhard did not pull zone. It had to go all the way up north.
And they messed up their team rotation. We've talked about it time and time again. But going into the finals, I want to see these teams using their extra mats to make sure you build a wall, and a ramp above the top of you. So when you bounce or shockwave like that, you all get funneled together. Luckily for Matzo and Amplify, they were able to get back together with ADN, and ADN makes a monstrous play, picking up what I believe was Falcon Lee there with a huge 200 shot and separating him from Yaxo and Skype. But now, Mitro, Mongrel, Taysom, we talked about them building up with the hard mats and pulling zone. They still have zone. We're going to keep an eye as the two most consistent trios in the entirety of EU have boxed up with now priority on that 5th zone, and we're closing in on the placement points and the full moving. That means we get endgame of game number 6 here, Sancho. Let's go.
And it's going to be a doozy of one, considering that there's so much water surrounding. Can Trainhard losing Yatso get the job done? They have to compete with another Trainhard competitor right next door of Matzo Amplify. And we're just seeing that they're second from height at the moment. And the most deadliest trio that you could have at height is Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson. The gamble paid off. Let's see where Zone 6 reveals here in a moment. This is going to be a big factor. It's going to push off this entire island and go right over water. Oh no, Sundown. Oh no.
Luckily, with the changes coming through in Chapter 2, all of that water is now buildable all on. You know, when we came through, the map was flooded after Midas ended up leaving and going through there. Before in Chapter 1, you would have had to have just kind of swum out there and pray or made sure you had the full tarps, but now across the top, you can at least cover yourself a little bit. However, everyone's going to be forced to use utility because no one was hanging out on the western side of the zone. So you see the initial bouncer from Sky and trying to get ahead. Also, because no players have dropped, minus a couple going through, 18 players are under threat from Storm Surge. So Sky immediately going to turn around and begin the pressure because they were 226 below, make that 99 below, make that 19 below, but still underneath the pressure, so they're not safe. They need to find tags. And we talk about not being safe. We see Mitro going down. Mitro is down. Hen is up on the high ground for the second time in the game. The young English player trying to tip the scales, but we're going to hop on board with the back-to-back, the solo specialist. Kinzel on the low ground. CRR and Wolfies hip-to-hip with them as they continue tarping forward.
Sometimes in the chaos, it's the solo player that rings true, as Kenzel, CRR, and Wolfies are now trying to come together as one. The solo all-stars working as a super trio team at the moment. CRR picks up another elim, and it was Fire Hunter that took down Tayson at top. So a lot of people contested for height, knowing how viable it can be.
And we now have our top 17, so every trio to drop here will be an additional point. Don't forget top 3, as well as second in Victory Royale is where the bonus placement points come through. But CRR picking up a nice little double elim right now, giving them their 4th elim and 74 points on the day so far.
So many different styles are kind of colliding, as mentioned before, but it is just the prowess of Kenzel, Wolfies, and CRR, as Mongrel is still up, and Mongrel gets a 2-piece on Yanis and X-Weezy, so that is going to be a dangerous player now going solo, as Wolfie goes down, gets knocked by Fresh, so now it's up to CRR and Kenzel to keep the story going, as Mappy picks up an elim. Down goes Wolfie, gets confirmed by Malad, so now it's all on Kenzel, the solo champion, the back-to-back DreamHack champion. Can he clutch for his trio, as he's the only last one standing?
But he finds it, and he also finds an RPG. They're available if you take out the Sharks. If he can find some room, there's a huge surprise factor. But now, hopping on board, DSR Fenogen. Mappy is down. Left Eye is down. The veterans are out, and it's all on the back of the rookies. We talk about it. These guys need to find top 15 over the course of these 12 games if they want to qualify, and ending it on a huge day here would be massive for them. Right now, just trying to hold the pressure. 3 HP. Can't step into the back, but a little bit of a misstep. Could the pressure be getting to him as Mappy now trying to find some room. ADN and Skype picking up some elims in the feed. That's Mongo going down, but he did manage to snag 7 placement points there, so not a complete waste coming out from the top trio. But Mappy, with the zone going back over, is gonna stick the revive onto Fanagen. And when we talk about those points you shouldn't be getting, you shouldn't be sticking a revive in the 9th zone. But when the stars align, sometimes you get everything possible, and they're just ticking over placement points right now as Hen on the high ground is doing all the work. And Fanagen comes forward, he picks up Punch Trick, that's a huge down, and he gets Hen as well. That's 2 back to back. The Siphon's gonna come through, he's gonna dip back into the storm, and he's gonna find a shockwave. He's going up onto the high ground, and I see no one else nearby. Did Fanagen just steal it? No, there's one more player above him, 5 HP and a dream to try and close it out. But the solo effort with 7 players remaining, there's 5 trios left. He's already secured an extra 8 points. He can't touch the storm.
The dream is still on. The dream could come true. This team is going to have a lot of momentum going into day 2 as Fanagen has an opportunity racking up so many placement points. It's a top 5 situation here. Every moment that matters as builds going in. It is closing time. Zone 9 and the zone's getting small. Oh, big tag. Vato goes down, but oh my goodness.
He missed the finish. He only had the 9 HP. He dipped back out for the Siphon, but he should have just kept his position on the zone. We talk about having to do everything right when you want to clutch, but right now, Deceptos trying to find the space, needs to knock down Chapix on the high ground, and Chapix gets ticked over. The difference of 2 seconds, Deceptos.
Twice today. With that being said, let's take a look at our standings. Now again, Shy, the top 5 looking primarily the same. We haven't seen too many people fall out. They've kind of stayed here. But again, it's the top 15 that we're more worried about.
And a team who just popped off big time in the end. Mappy, Left Eye, and I've been in contact for Nyan.
What?
For Nyan.